What if the greatest achievement of an ancient civilization isn't what you see? Not the temples everyone knows. Angkor Wat, Ta Prohm, Bayonne. Their stone faces stare through centuries, frozen in eternal grace.
But you're looking at the wrong thing. These magnificent temples, they're just decoration.
The real achievement of the Khmer civilization remains invisible from the ground.
Only from space, from satellite orbit, can you truly see it. Their hidden network.
Reservoirs larger than entire modern cities. The greatest hydraulic system in the medieval world ever built.
1 million people living in a tropical rainforest for 600 years. How did they do it?
The answer lies in water. The Khmer mastered water, controlling its every precious drop.
Southeast Asia. Monsoon climate. A challenge few civilizations could overcome.
6 months of torrential rain, then 6 months of devastating drought. Extremes every year.
Too much water kills rice. Too little water kills rice. The margin for error was tiny.
Rice needs constant, controlled water. Not flooding, not trickling, but perfectly managed flow.
By the 12th century, Angkor had become the largest pre-industrial city on Earth.
Larger than Beijing, Constantinople, or any city in medieval Europe.
1 million people, all needing food, all living with Earth's most extreme climate.
The Khmer didn't just farm, they terraformed. They moved rivers, reshaped the landscape.
Without computers, without steel, without modern surveying equipment. An impossible feat.
Baray, the ancient Khmer word for reservoir. But these are far more than mere reservoirs.
The West Baray, 8 kilometers long, 2 kilometers wide. 55 million cubic meters of water.
Imagine 16,000 Olympic swimming pools placed side by side, all dug by hand.
9 million cubic meters of earth excavated. This colossal earthwork project dwarfs even the Egyptian pyramids. No excavators, no dump trucks, no explosives. Just thousands upon thousands of workers, decades of labor. The East Baray came first, built around 900 CE. It supplied the entire empire for centuries.
Then they built the West Baray, even larger still, an astonishing feat of ancient engineering.
But these barays weren't just storing water. They were controlling it, releasing it precisely.
Sophisticated hydraulic engineering. Not merely large holes to hold water, but a living system.
During monsoon, the barays absorbed catastrophic floods, diverting millions of cubic meters of water.
During the dry season, they released stored water drop by drop, with complex regulation gates, ensuring not a single drop was wasted. Not a single rice field went without water.
From the barays, channels spread across the landscape like the circulatory system of a massive organism.
35 kilometers of primary channels, major arteries. Hundreds of kilometers of secondary canals.
Thousands of kilometers of tertiary channels, reaching every single rice field. A marvel of planning.
The entire system operated on gravity. No pumps, no machinery, just perfect gradients.
1 meter of elevation drop for every kilometer of distance. An unbelievable engineering challenge.
Too steep, and water erodes the channel walls. Too shallow, and water stagnates, breeding disease.
Nurturing malarial mosquitoes. The Khmer calculated the perfect angle with incredible precision.
Without theodolites, without laser levels, without computers. How did they achieve this?
Modern scholars believe they used bamboo tubes filled with water. Ancient spirit levels, accurate to centimeters. During monsoon, the system absorbed catastrophic floods. Water diverted into the barays, safely away.
During dry season, wooden sluice gates opened, a controlled release, precise timing, perfect flow.
The rice fields never flooded, never dried out. This was an extremely complex logistical problem. Imagine managing thousands of kilometers of channels, hundreds of gates, adjusted daily for hundreds of thousands. Everything had to be coordinated perfectly, or the entire system would collapse. A delicate balance. To the Khmer, water was divine. Every temple sat within a water system, not near water.
Not beside water. Within the hydraulic network. Angkor Wat's moat is 200 meters wide.
5 kilometers in circumference, 12 million cubic meters of water. Everyone says it's for defense.
They're wrong. This is hydraulic engineering disguised as religious symbolism, a beautiful theology.
The moat represents the cosmic ocean, Mount Meru rising from primordial waters. But it's also functional.
Every major temple had sacred ponds, ritual baths. Priests performed ceremonies releasing water
into specific channels. Religion and engineering merged into a single system. This wasn't coincidence.
Control the water, control the rice. Control the rice, control the people. Water was political power.
Khmer kings weren't just religious rulers. They were chief engineers of a massive artificial ecosystem.
10,000 workers, laboring for 20 years, just to build the West Baray, an epic undertaking.
The logistics of organizing such a workforce was an engineering achievement in itself. Housing and feeding them.
Supplying tools, replacing broken ones, providing medical care, maintaining order amidst chaos.
Wooden sluice gates controlled the flow. Carved timber, precise carpentry, astonishingly effective.
Gates could be raised or lowered, opening specific channels, directing water exactly where needed.
Maintenance was constant work. Channels filled with silt every year. Workers dredged canals.
Repaired erosion, replaced wooden structures. This system required thousands of permanent maintenance workers.
A hydraulic system spanning 1,000 square kilometers, supporting the largest city on Earth.
The water system enabled the Khmer to harvest rice 3 times per year. Let that sink in.
Normal monsoon agriculture produces 1 harvest, maybe 2. The Khmer produced 3. Reliably.
This productivity leap meant nearly triple the food supply, nearly triple the capacity to support population.
The city spread along water channels. Settlement patterns followed infrastructure, just like modern cities.
Water determined where people lived, where markets flourished, where temples were built. Prosperity.
The empire became the wealthiest state in Southeast Asia. Not from gold, but from rice.
By the 12th century, they had reached their peak. 1 million people, 100 temples, the world's largest urban complex, sustained by a water system even today we don't fully understand.
But by 1250, something was changing. Stone inscriptions mention repairs constantly.
More frequently than before. Maintenance problems multiplying, growing harder to manage.
Monsoon patterns were shifting. Some years brought catastrophic floods.
Other years brought devastating droughts. The system was designed for predictable cycles, not this. Upstream deforestation caused massive erosion. Soil washed into channels, silt accumulated. The barays were losing capacity, filling with sediment. Dredging couldn't keep pace.
The system had grown so complex, it required constant, enormous maintenance. a heavy burden.
Meanwhile, the empire faced wars. Champa to the east, Dai Viet to the north, Siam to the west.
Military campaigns drained resources. Labor was diverted from water maintenance to warfare.
This was a deadly trade-off. Every soldier sent to fight, one fewer worker maintaining channels. One channel fails. Water backs up, floods a neighborhood. A cascade failure begins. Each failure leads to the next. The system began collapsing from within, piece by agonizing piece. By 1350, Chinese records describe Angkor in crisis. Repeated flooding, crop failures, population declining. Chinese immigrants wrote about abandoned rice fields, clogged channels,
broken gates. Sometime between 1350 and 1375, the system failed. Not all at once.
Section by section, zone by zone, collapse spread like disease, from periphery to center.
When one baray breached its embankment, millions of cubic meters of water rushed downstream.
Destroyed sluice gates, washed out channels, carving new, uncontrolled paths through the landscape. The damage was beyond repair, not for lack of skill, but for lack of resources. Rebuilding required decades.
Without controlled irrigation, rice yields plummeted, from 3 harvests per year down to 1, or none.
Famine followed. Population fled, moving to areas with simpler water needs.
In 1431, the Siamese army captured Angkor. But they captured a dying city.
The water system was already dead. The temples still stood, monuments to a civilization's failure.
For 400 years, Angkor lay abandoned. The jungle reclaimed the temples.
Vines grew through stone. Trees broke through walls. Nature slowly swallowed what humans had built.
In 1860, French explorers arrived. They saw the temples, marveled at the architecture, and completely missed the water system. For 70 years, archaeologists focused on temples.
Studied carvings, translated inscriptions, walked over channels without understanding them.
This is a lesson about what we see versus what's there. They looked for temples, found temples.
In 1930, aerial photography changed everything. From the air, patterns became visible.
Straight lines through jungle, rectangular shapes, the outline of barays, traces of ancient channels.
Suddenly, archaeologists realized they had missed something enormous. A complete reversal in understanding.
But it wasn't until 2013 that we truly understood the scale. LiDAR technology.
Laser scanning from aircraft, penetrating jungle canopy, revealing what lies beneath.
The full extent of the hydraulic system emerged for the first time. Channels under forest, buried reservoirs.
Hidden infrastructure. Now we know the water system was 10 times larger than the visible city.
Angkor wasn't a temple city with water management. It was a water city with temples. A complete reversal.
For a century, we thought Angkor was about religion. Now we know it was about engineering, about water.
About humanity's unparalleled ability to shape environment.
A testament to ingenuity.
The Angkor water system moved more water than modern Amsterdam, served more people than Venice.
Lasted longer than most Roman aqueducts. Astonishing comparisons, especially without modern tech.
Could it have been maintained indefinitely? Modern engineers debate this question.
Some say yes, others say no. The system was optimized for stable monsoons.
When climate patterns changed, collapse was inevitable. The Khmer fell into a complexity trap. The more sophisticated the system became, the more vulnerable it grew. More points of failure.
This is a lesson as infrastructure today faces similar challenges: climate change, aging systems.
Rising complexity creates new vulnerabilities. The Khmer's experience offers a stark warning.
But also inspiration. Medieval engineers achieved something extraordinary, solving an impossible problem.
Through careful observation, patient experimentation, and meticulous engineering. A lost art.
Walk through Angkor Wat today. The stone endures. Towers rise. Tourists photograph carvings.
But the barays are dry now. Channels filled with earth and vegetation.
Sluice gates rotted away centuries ago. The system that fed an empire lies silent.
The engineering knowledge vanished with the engineers. Precise calculations forgotten.
Maintenance techniques lost. No one remembers how to build a beret anymore, or calculate perfect gradients.
But something remains. In the landscape. In the earth. When you stand on the edge of the dry West Beret, try to imagine it full. 55 million cubic meters.
Fresh mangoes here, best in the baray.
I'll trade you these yams for 3 baskets.
The water flow is strong, but check the eastern sluice. Water flowing out, controlled, managed, bringing life to thousands of rice fields.
Then imagine the moment when it ended. When the embankment broke, water crashed down.
When rice fields dried for the last time. When people realized the system couldn't be repaired. When they packed belongings and left, abandoning temples to jungle. A heartbreaking departure. This is the story of Angkor, not a story of kings and gods. It's a story of water, of engineering, of humanity's astonishing ability to shape the world. And of the fragility of even the greatest achievements when facing changes they weren't designed to handle.
The temples stand as monuments to human ingenuity. But the silent channels remind us.
Even the most sophisticated systems can fail. Even the greatest civilizations depend on their foundations. And when that foundation erodes, everything built upon it falls. A sobering thought.
But in the ruins, in the buried channels revealed by LiDAR, there is a legacy.
The Khmer proved it was possible to build a great civilization, not on military conquest or wealth, but on careful management of a single resource, water. A profound lesson for our time. In a world increasingly facing water scarcity, climate change, and infrastructure challenges.
Angkor speaks to us across centuries, not with simple answers, but with complex questions.
How do we build systems that can adapt? How do we balance complexity and resilience?
How do we learn from those who came before us, who achieved so much but ultimately couldn't sustain it? The land remembers. Let us listen to what it tells us. Lessons for today. The Angkor Wat hydraulic system isn't just an engineering achievement. It's a testament to humanity's capacity to remake the world.
A warning about the fragility of complexity, and an inspiration for the challenges we face today.
Next time you see photographs of Angkor Wat, remember, you're looking at the tip of the iceberg.
The truly astonishing part lies underground, spreading across thousands of square kilometers. Invisible, but indelible. The Khmer mastered water. And for a brief moment in history,
They built something magnificent. This is a story worth telling, worth remembering, worth learning from.
The temples of Angkor Wat stand as a monumental testament to a lost civilization. Its intricate carvings whisper tales of kings, gods, and an ancient world.
But beneath this visible splendor lay an unseen marvel, truly sustaining the empire.
From the ground, it's impossible to grasp the true scale of their engineering genius. Only from above, from satellite views, does the true masterpiece emerge.
A complex hydraulic system with reservoirs as large as cities, feeding 1 million people.
In a land of relentless monsoons and scorching droughts, they mastered the very essence of life, water.
This control allowed them to harvest rice 3 times a year, a miracle in the medieval world.
Even Angkor Wat's iconic moat, often mistaken for defense, was part of this grand system.
Every gate, every channel, every reservoir worked in harmony, a testament to their brilliance.
The entire city, with its 1 million inhabitants, was an artificial ecosystem, meticulously crafted.
Without modern technology, they moved mountains of earth, shaping the world with sheer will.
For centuries, this masterpiece of engineering sustained a golden age, a vibrant civilization.
But even the most brilliant systems are vulnerable. The first warning signs began to appear. Shifting monsoon patterns, catastrophic floods, devastating droughts. The climate turned against them.
Upstream deforestation led to erosion, silting up the vital reservoirs and channels.
Maintenance became overwhelming, a losing battle against nature and dwindling resources.
Wars drained resources, diverting labor from vital water management to futile conflict.
One failure led to another, a slow, agonizing cascade that brought the grand system to its knees.
By 1350, Chinese records speak of a city in crisis. Abandoned fields, clogged channels.
The inevitable famine followed. People fled, abandoning the heart of their once great empire.
They left their temples, their homes, their very way of life to the relentless jungle.
For centuries, the jungle swallowed Angkor, erasing all traces of its magnificent engineering.
When explorers rediscovered Angkor, they marveled at its temples, missing the true marvel.
It took aerial photography in the 1930s to hint at the invisible architecture beneath.
But only LiDAR technology in 2013 unveiled the complete picture, a city built on water. Angkor was not a temple city with water, but a water city with magnificent temples.
This rediscovery reversed our understanding, revealing an engineering marvel unparalleled. The Angkor water system stands as a testament to ingenuity, a warning of complexity.
In a world facing water scarcity and climate change, Angkor's story resonates deeply.
The land remembers, and we must listen, for its whispers hold crucial lessons for our future.
Angkor Wat, more than just temples, it's a profound narrative of human ambition and fragility. The astonishing truth lies beneath the surface, an invisible, indelible achievement.
The Khmer mastered water, building something magnificent that fed an empire.
This is a story etched in stone and water, waiting for us to truly understand.
The silent channels remind us of ambition, innovation, and the delicate balance of civilization. A story worth remembering for the wisdom it offers our world, facing its own great challenges.